Yes, I believe you'd have to ask people that were a part of the Vince Senior conversations. Who knows?
That's what Bill. Well, that's what Bill Apter told me.
So, correct. No, I mean Bill goes without saying.
Yeah.
Bill's been a connector in our territory for a lot of years. I mean, that movie Life with Mikey. It's a small bit part, but a Michael J. Fox movie. But me and Lawler were in it. That came through Apter as well.
Man. So the only reason I bring up how you guys wound up working with Andy is you grew up in this wrestling family, but like you wound up working infamously for Vince and WCW. When was the first time you ever met Vince McMahon? Do you recall your first interactions with him?
When he became Mr. McMahon. But no, he was coming down on Monday nights. It's the first time, I can remember, again, my dad was in the regional promotion days back in the early 80s and late 70s. Yeah. He was the kid. He was the young one, Eddie Graham and the Crockett's and Fritz and just the territory promoters. Well, then Vince Jr. taking it national, but I can remember, they had a relationship and talked on the phone often from time to time. But me actually meeting Vince was when he came to Memphis.
Okay. And what was that? Was he cool? Were you intimidated?
Oh, yeah. I mean, of course. I mean, you got to look at so what, 90, 91, 92, yeah. During that era, he was 5 WrestleMania in, and Randy Savage was a guy that I knew as as not part of the family, but our families had worked together since the 70s and early 80s, so Savage, I'm a junior in high school, maybe loses his loser leave town after a series, great story and all that.
Yeah.
But he goes and then all of a sudden Savage Steamboat, and then Savage Hogan, and then Savage Warrior. And so Randy was a guy that I knew well, and he had gone and worked for Vince. And so to get to see the promoter of Hulk Hogan, the promoter of Randy Savage, the promoter of WrestleMania, the promoter of Madison Square Garden, that's who young Jeff, 5 years in the business, essentially was like, wow, this is the promoter. It's cool. My dad was my dad, and Lawler was Lawler. But here comes the promoter from New York who promoted these mega events. It was very cool.
What was it like for you acclimating to Vince's world there, coming from Memphis and then having to come into this new vision of pro wrestling? How much of an adjustment was that for you?
Well, it was, by that time I'd been working in the territory, in the business for 7 years, and so guys, ins and outs. Sean and Marty had came to town. They had gone up. Mick Foley had gone to WCW. Master of Pain, now known as Undertaker, he had gone. So lots of talent had come through. WCW had wanted me to come, Dusty, in 1990. They had wanted me to come to WCW, but I was working Texas and Tennessee. So by the time I finally went and worked for Vince in 93, full time, I was ready mentally. I was ready to go. Emotionally, I damn sure wanted to go. If not for nothing, make more money. The territory was obviously on its dying days. So to get there, to have the opportunity, but to look at a booking sheet and opposed to Nashville, Louisville, Evansville, Memphis, that I'd seen for 7 years. Now you're looking at Philly, Chicago, LA, Honolulu. I remember getting that booking sheet. Oh, then you're going to go to London, Munich, just the travel involved, but getting to play different venues, that was all fresh and new and exciting.
Random.